Welcome to today's Psych with Sigmund, where we're going to dive into the fascinating world of operant conditioning. This concept is crucial in understanding how our environment influences our behavior, and it has far-reaching implications for personal growth, relationships, and even mental health. So, what is operant conditioning? In simple terms, it's a learning process where our behaviors are modified by their consequences. Think of it like this. When you perform a certain action and something good happens as a result, you're more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. On the other hand, if something unpleasant occurs, you'll probably avoid doing it again. This fundamental principle was first introduced by B.F. Skinner, an American psychologist who's often referred to as the father of operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is based on the idea that our behaviors are controlled by their consequences, which can be either positive or negative. Positive reinforcement occurs when a behavior is followed by a pleasing consequence, such as receiving a reward or praise. This increases the likelihood of the behavior happening again in the future. Negative reinforcement, on the other hand, involves the removal of an unpleasant stimulus, like turning off a loud noise. This also increases the probability of the behavior being repeated. However, there are also negative consequences that can decrease the likelihood of a behavior occurring again. Punishment, for instance, is when a behavior is followed by an unpleasant outcome, such as receiving a fine or a scolding. This typically leads to a decrease in the frequency of the behavior. But here's the thing, punishment can have unintended consequences, like increased anxiety or aggression. One of the key psychologists who contributed significantly to our understanding of operant conditioning is Edward Thorndike. He introduced the law of effect, which states that behaviors that are followed by a satisfying consequence will be strengthened, while those followed by an unsatisfying consequence will be weakened. This idea laid the foundation for Skinner's work on operant conditioning. One classic study is the Skinner box experiment, where rats were placed in a box with a lever that dispensed food pellets when pressed. The rats quickly learned to press the lever to receive the reward, demonstrating the power of positive reinforcement. Another study found that children who receive rewards for completing homework assignments showed significant improvements in their academic performance compared to those who didn't receive rewards. However, research has also highlighted some limitations and controversies surrounding operant conditioning. For example, over-reliance on external rewards can lead to a decrease in intrinsic motivation, where individuals perform behaviors solely for the reward rather than because they enjoy them. Additionally, the use of punishment can have negative consequences, such as increased aggression and decreased self-esteem. So, how can we apply the principles of operant conditioning in our everyday lives? Understanding this concept can help you improve your relationships, increase productivity, and even overcome addictive behaviors. For instance, if you're trying to quit smoking, you could use positive reinforcement by rewarding yourself with a non-smoking related pleasure, like going for a walk or reading a book, every time you resist the urge to smoke. Therapists also use operant conditioning principles in behavioral therapies, such as token economy systems, where patients earn rewards for exhibiting desired behaviors. This approach has been shown to be effective in treating various mental health conditions, including depression and anxiety disorders. In addition, operant conditioning can help parents develop more effective parenting strategies. By using positive reinforcement, such as praise and rewards, parents can encourage desirable behaviors in their children, like sharing and cooperation. To illustrate this concept further, let's consider a case study. Imagine a child who throws tantrums every time they don't get what they want. By using operant conditioning principles, the parent can identify the reinforcing consequences that maintain the tantrum behavior, such as attention or giving in to demands. The parent can then develop a plan to replace these reinforcers with more positive ones, like praise and rewards for calm behavior. In conclusion, operant conditioning is a powerful concept that helps us grasp how our environment influences our actions and decisions. By recognizing the consequences of our behaviors, we can take control of our learning processes and make positive changes in our lives. As my experience with clients has shown me, understanding operant conditioning can be a game changer for personal growth and self-awareness. That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.